Once upon a time, in a small, dusty village surrounded by whispering fields and ancient mango trees, lived two brothers, Jabir and Jeevan. Jabir, the elder, was rich beyond need. His house stood tall, painted in royal blue with golden borders, and the fragrance of biryani often spilled from its windows. But his heart? Cold and hollow. Jeevan, the younger, was the kind of man who smiled even with empty pockets. He toiled under the sun from morning till dusk, trying to feed his wife Amina and their little boy Saad. Yet, even hope begins to tremble when a child goes to bed hungry. The festival of Eid had come. The village glittered. Lamps flickered along rooftops. Children laughed in new clothes. Sweet scents of sevaya and rosewater kheer danced in the air. Jabir's courtyard was alive with celebration, silken drapes, gold bangles, and trays upon trays of food. But behind the crumbling door of Jeevan's hut, silence. No oil for the lamp. No rice in the jar. No Eid clothes. No smiles. Just a child tugging at his mother's sleeve, whispering, "Ammi, when will we eat?" Tears welled in Jeevan's eyes. He stood up, swallowed his pride, and walked to his brother's house under the moonlight. "Jabir bhai, please," Jeevan said, standing outside the golden gates, his voice trembling. "I'm not here for luxury. Just help me feed Amina and Saad. I will return every coin. Just something to keep us alive this Eid." Jabir looked down from his veranda, adorned in a silk kurta, sipping spiced milk. "I worked for what I have, Jeevan," he said coldly. "If you can't, that's your failure. Then, at least give me my share of Abbu's land. The one you promised after his passing." Jabir's face twisted. "You dare ask for that now? I've invested in that land. You'll get nothing. Bhai, please, get out, before I throw you out." Jeevan turned away, hollow and humiliated. In the silence of the forest, Jeevan walked blindly, feet numb, heart heavier than ever. As the woods thickened, the cries of his stomach faded beneath the sound of leaves whispering above. And then he saw her. An old woman, stooped with age, trying to carry a heavy bundle of firewood. "Can I help you?" Jeevan asked, gently taking the load from her. "I don't want anything, but if you can spare a corn or some food, I'll be grateful." The woman looked at him with eyes that seemed ancient as the earth. "You're kind," she said. "Take this." From a cloth pouch, she handed him a small box. Inside, 6 saffron sugar laddus, glowing softly. "Walk deeper. Past the banyan trees, you'll find a cave hidden behind ferns. Inside are 3 dwarfs, guardians of something rare. Offer them these sweets. But ask for the grinder. Only that." Jeevan blinked. "A grinder?" She smiled. "One that gives whatever your heart speaks. But remember this, to stop it, you must cover it with a red cloth. Or it will never stop." Past the banyans and silver ferns, Jeevan found the cave, dark, small, and glowing faintly from inside. He bent down and entered. Inside were 3 dwarfs, bearded, cheerful, and round as melons, singing in a language he didn't know. But their eyes sparkled the moment they saw the laddus. "Saffron sweets," they cried. "We haven't had these in 100 years." Jeevan smiled. "They're yours. All I ask is a grinder." The dwarfs looked at each other, nodded, and brought out an old, iron grinder. "This will give you whatever you speak, rice, gold, lentils, even happiness. But remember the cloth." "I will," Jeevan said, bowing gratefully. Back home, Jeevan placed the grinder on a mat. Amina and Saad sat nearby, curious. Grinder, he whispered. Give me rice. A second later, piles of fragrant, fluffy rice spilled out. He placed the red cloth. It stopped. Amina gasped. Saad clapped. Laughter returned. Tears turned sweet. The next morning, Jeevan sold a small portion in the village market, just enough. Slowly, he earned more. Saad started school. Amina laughed again. Jeevan didn't hoard. He gave. Quietly. Often. His home was still modest, but filled with dignity. One day, Jabir passed by the market. He stopped in his tracks. There stood Jeevan, smiling, clean clothes, selling wheat and sweets. But how? Curiosity turned to suspicion. Suspicion to envy. That evening, Jabir arrived at Jeevan's home, smiling falsely. Little brother, he said, I was harsh. Let's have dinner together. Like old times. Jeevan welcomed him warmly, forgetting the past. But Jabir had no intention of leaving. He pretended to sleep, then stayed hidden near the window, watching as Jeevan whispered to the grinder and food appeared like magic. His eyes gleamed. That grinder will be mine. The theft and the sea. The next morning, while Jeevan was at the market, Jabir sneaked into the house and stole the grinder. He ran. Told his wife and son to pack. We're leaving the village. Forever. They rode in silence until they reached the river. Jabir paid for a large wooden boat. The grinder sat gleaming on his lap. This is our future, he whispered. His wife looked confused. What is it? Jabir smirked. Watch. Grinder, he said loudly. Give me. Salt. The grinder began spinning wildly. Salt poured like a white storm. More, he shouted. Faster. The boat began to wobble. Stop now, his wife shouted. Jabir froze. He didn't have the red cloth. He didn't know how to stop it. Salt rose over their knees. Then their chests. The boat rocked, cracked, and sunk. And to this day, they say the sea near that river is still salty. When Jeevan returned, the grinder was gone. His house, silent. He sighed. Not in anger, but peace. Maybe it's for the best, he whispered. If blessings are stolen, they turn into curses. And so, he worked again. Harder, but wiser. This time, with the skills he'd learned, farming, honesty, trade. He rebuilt his life. Without magic. And he lived a good life. A life of dignity, laughter, and light. The moral. Greed will drown you. Kindness will carry you. And true magic lies not in what you take, but what you give. Subscribe for more magical tales from the heart.